What's up, everybody? We're definitely gonna go ahead and get this show started, and I definitely do thank y'all for being patient with me on everything. I had to make sure we had all of our information up because we got a little bit to talk about here, but we're gonna go ahead and get started in just a few moments. And so definitely make sure y'all share this show out to everybody. Let everybody know where they can come on in and talk Tennessee Titans ball with us. And we're definitely gonna have a good time. You got Throwback Sunday on its way, and we're gonna be talking Titans Texans, and could and could some things be popping up again on the coaching side? So we're definitely gonna go ahead and talk about that, and we're gonna get the show going. I know everybody might be you know um, a little behind because I normally do the show on Wednesday and did it on Thursday instead. But we're definitely gonna go ahead and talk. So thank y'all for sticking with me, and we're gonna get this show started in less than 60 seconds.
Hope you can still go. I never ran, should've known, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter and
Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody? Good evening, Titan Nation, and everybody at the sound of my voice. Welcome into another edition of TNT Tonight, a Thursday edition of TNT Tonight. I'm your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer. We're gonna have a fun episode for this evening. I thank everybody for tuning in. Definitely again apologize. I could not do my show on my regular Wednesday. Um, had a lot going on at work, and I had a pretty long day, so had to kind of back it up. Had to back it up a day. Forgive me for a second. I'm just rearranging my chair. There we are. There we go. I had to, take care of some business at work. And that was why I was not able to do a show yesterday, but we are going to do a show today. We're going to be talking a lot of Titans, Texans, and some other news that has come out in regards to the Tennessee Titans. So we're definitely going to get into that. But first off, I would like everybody to go ahead and, if you can, please share the show out. Definitely go to share the show out, whether it be on Facebook, X, or Instagram. And I'm definitely doing the same thing myself right now and everything. And then also, definitely make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Definitely go ahead and hit that like button. That'll help me. That'll help the system, and then that'll get more. It'll help get more out to everybody else. And then also, if you're new to the channel, if you become new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and ring that bell, and then that way you're able to go ahead and you'll be able to go ahead and join the channel. You'll know when things go live, and then that way you can also be a part of the show. So definitely, definitely hit that button, and be glad to have you join us. And definitely be glad to have you join us. So I'm actually doing that on Instagram right now, and making sure that this is shared out to everybody. And so I'm actually doing that right now as we speak. So we're definitely going to go ahead and get into that. Also, if you're not able to fully listen to the whole show, or you need to go back and listen to anything, definitely make sure you download on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, or Google Podcasts as well. Wherever you get your podcast from, definitely make sure you download that. You can give me a rating. You can download the episode. I try to put all the episodes on there. I know a few episodes sometimes are missing, but most of the time I get all the episodes on there. So definitely go ahead and do that as well. And let's go ahead and get this road on the show. And basically talk about. I know everybody is still on an emotional high from the 28-27 upset of the Miami Dolphins. Of course, yes, I did pick against the Titans. I did not think they were going to win this game, but they found a way to do it. And I mean, congratulations to them. And it was definitely well deserved. They fought hard all night and they found a way to get the job done. So now it's time to move on. You know what we say in sports, you know, you enjoy it, for one night, you enjoy it for one, you enjoy it for one night, and then you got to move on. So now it's time to move on to the Houston Texans. But some news that came out, of course. Congratulations to Harold Landry. Landry being named AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his three sack performance in the victory over the Miami Dolphins. So uh, definitely big ups to him. Definitely big ups on the defense, because at the end of the day, the defense, they played a heck of a game. They did. I will not take that away from them. It was a heck of a ball game. And yes, the Sunshine Lavender tuning in as well. I definitely do appreciate that. Um, Definitely try to make sure it's a treat for everybody to enjoy themselves. So, you know, this is, it was definitely good, a good job by the defense as far as, just basically not letting the Dolphin offense go crazy as I expected them to do. But at the end of the day, the Titans took care of business. They got the Tua. They confused them. And once Tyreek Hill kind of went out, it really kind of messed up everything the Miami Dolphins wanted to do. And so with that, it just basically helped. It just basically spurred the Titans on to victory. So definitely shout out to Harold Landry. Congratulations to him again on being named the Defensive Player of the Week. Now, we're going to definitely get into some other things going on as well. Of course, Mike Vrabel, pumped his chest a bit, after the victory and everything, because hey, when the Titans win, he likes to pump his chest a little bit and show off some. But you got to be careful with that too, because I mean, just because you did it once, that doesn't mean that um you just all of a sudden, you know, all great again. This has still been a pretty terrible season, and there's still a lot of evaluation still to do. And so, I mean, again, congratulations and everything, but sometimes you still got to be humble. You know what I mean? So, but some things that did come out of this game, after this game, that we found out, of course, he talked about, Will Levis needing to kind of make sure he slides, more, and not take on, defensive players, and, everything, because that could get you hurt at the end. And we don't need Will Levis to be hurt, because we're going to need him the rest of this season. We're definitely going to need him to and everything. But we're definitely going to need him to do that. Dylan Radins, of course. Joe with Paul Kaharski in regards to um, the pre-snap penalties that he had. And I'm just sharing my show out, just sharing the show out to everybody. So that's why I'm looking down, y'all. But Dylan joked about, he's got to fix those pre-snap problems, which he does. He does need to fix that because that is going to be a concern going forward. Because if he's going to remain on the team and be able to even contribute, you can't you can't be giving false starts all the time. That's not going to help anybody in any situation. So you know needs to get that cleaned up. Really does. He definitely needs to get that cleaned up and get that cleaned up quickly when it comes to that. But some other news that did come out, as you can see on the screen, Christian Fulton put on IR. Put on IR. He was dealing with the hamstring issue again and everything, but his season is over now, and pretty much I would say most likely his Titan tenure is over as well because I think it's highly unlikely they are going to re-sign him. Um, and if that is the case, I mean, you kind of, it ends in a bad way for him because, he wasn't really having a great year. This is supposed to be his contract year and hasn't really lived up to the billing of the second round pick. He was supposed to come in and be like our shutdown corner. He's supposed to be our top corner and has been anything but that. So, with him being out for the season, it's unfortunate. Um, it's a rough way to have his Titans career come to an end. But again, he's just gonna have to be able to. He's gonna have to probably be able to latch on elsewhere and be able to figure out, maybe how to be a better corner in this situation because he just wasn't that for this team. Again, that's probably one of the last pieces of failure on John Robinson because I know a lot of you want to blame John Robinson for everything that's going on and basically want to make it seem like it's all his fault, which some of it is, but not all of it. So, AZ Big says Fulton is gone. He's on IR. He's going to miss the last 4 games of the season, and pretty much his season and most likely his Titans tenure is over. Derek Roberts, what's going on? I see Kent's in here. I'm like, um, you know, XD Gamer don't really have a lot to say you know, when the Titans are winning. So I mean, there's something to say on that. But definitely unfortunate for him. I know we signed a couple of defensive linemen off of practice squads and everything. So that'll be interesting to see. Another thing that came up is the Patriots put out the Patriots basically put out a there was an article that was put out by somebody by the name of Tom, a Patriots insider by the name of Tom Curran, who I hear is very respectable in the league, and that an article was put out as of this is maybe put out the other day that the New England Patriots plan to part ways with Bill Belichick at the end of the season. So once this season is over, Belichick is out. Belichick will be out as Patriots head coach. That is according to Patriots insider Tom Curran, and of course some others have put out the article as well. Has put out the article as well. So they're not going to fire. Of course, they're not going to fire him in season, probably out of respect, probably out of respect for him, they'd be like, you gotta let him finish, let him finish the season up and everything. And so it looks like Belichick is most likely on his way out of New England at the end of the year. And which makes you wonder, okay, if Belichick is out at the end of the year, who are the Patriots going to replace him with? And of course, a lot of people in the Boston area, one name, of course, is, I believe, um, current New England Patriot coach, Gerard Mayo, who is one of the who is one of their who is one of the coaches on staff for Bill Belichick. And so now, he is the linebackers coach. He is the linebackers coach and thinks that he could be the guy that ends up taking over at some point. So he is the linebackers coach right now, but right now he's the guy that a lot of people are thinking could be the next head coach of the New England Patriots. Another name, of course, that a lot of people were talking about before is our very own Mike Vrabel. And so, and the reason, and that's why I put this up, Vrabel to Pat's talk could get hot again. Now that this whole thing with Belichick is kind of out, that's going to be the question. Are the Patriots going to try to trade for Mike Vrabel? And the thing I think about is, and I know there are going to be a lot of people out there that's going to be like, of course not. They're not getting rid of Vrabel. We're going to keep him. He's a great coach. He's awesome. And all that blah, all that bunch of crap. Vrabel is a good coach, not a great one. He's not anywhere close to what Bill Belichick was. And so, but Robert Kraft, of course, last month, during the whole Hall of Fame thing with him, said Mike Vrabel would be a home run hire. And to do that, you would have to trade for him. And, that is probably one reason why the Titans have not fired him yet or anything like that. And I have definitely heard if the Titans had gotten embarrassed on Monday night, like a lot of us thought was going to happen, I think, he would have been on the hot seat still going to this game against Houston because we know, as a lot of people say, Amy Adams Strunk and the Adams family take games against Houston very, very seriously. And so, if you're gonna win any other game, you better beat the Houston Texans. And you're wearing your throwback Oiler jerseys on Sunday as well. Oh, you better win. You better win. You don't have a choice. You gotta win that game. So, that's gonna be something to monitor if trade if a trade gets put together. Also, of course, things that are going on right now, the NFL winter meetings are going on right now. And so with that, owners meetings. And so while that's going on, I'm trying to think of where the meeting is right now. And so, of course, they got the accelerator program going on, and I believe one of our executives is in that program right now. So I am trying to. Okay, they're in Dallas right now doing the owners meetings, and so you best better believe some things are getting talked about. Maybe coaches are getting talked about. down there. And so, you know, Robert Kraft might be telling some teams like, yeah, we're getting rid of Belichick. We're probably going to get rid of Belichick. Hey, would y'all be interested? You know, or anything, or a team might come up to Robert Kraft saying, hey, is it true y'all moving on from Belichick? And so I think a lot of, and because I think the Patriots may have come out and said we're gonna part ways. I think they're just gonna wait until that becomes official. I don't think they're gonna trade for Belichick. I don't think teams are gonna trade for Belichick, even though there's gonna be a lot of there's gonna be quite a few openings um around the league that could definitely, you know, be available. Could be available. I mean, you know, for example, the Panthers job is going to be available. The Panthers job is going to be available. The Commanders might be available. The Raiders is available. The Chargers might be available. The Bears are going to be available. Depending on how this season ends, the Jets might be available too. Um, as far as I'm concerned. So there might be about 6, 7 jobs that could actually be available. And I mean, depending on how things are going, the Titans job could be available as well. So there's a lot of talking that could be going on. And also, it could be Robert Kraft saying, Miss Amy, can I talk to you for a second? Yeah, I'm interested in bringing Mike Vrabel to New England. I know he's your head coach. I know you said that you're going to hang on to him. But what if I offer you this for him? Would you consider that? And I mean, if Kraft wants Vrabel bad enough, he may have to pay a hefty price to get him. And if he's willing to pay that hefty price, it might be an offer that Amy Adams Strunk cannot refuse. So that could be going on as well. So I'm just saying, though, that topic could start getting hot again. So I suggest you prepare yourselves for that. Ian says, I can see our ego losing us this game, just like the Packers game last year. I mean, that you that could be a very valid point. There's a, can Vrabel get traded? It is possible. Let's see. Alex says that Dolphins win got him another year. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think for right now, I think that might be a big feather in his cap. But I also say that to say that Mike Vrabel's value is pretty high right now. The way that game ended, and the fact all the national media was so shocked by it, of course, they're probably going to give a whole bunch of credit, you know, some to Will Levis, but they're going to be like, man, that Mike Vrabel, he is such a great coach. Because around the rest of the league and in the national world, Mike Vrabel is like one of the greatest coaches ever in their mind. He's like top 10, top 5 head coach, according to the Diana Rossinis of the world, according to the Adam Schefters and the Ian Rappaports of the world, you know, according to, you know, the top pundits of ESPN or NFL Network. They would think the Titans would be crazy to get rid of Vrabel. Although I don't think it's too far-fetched. It might help us. Clay says somewhere there was saw somewhere where Gronk and Edelman were second guessing the article, and again, that might be the case. Um, you know, they could, because I mean they're just giving their thoughts and their opinion, or anything like that. So we definitely gonna find out. Can't lose in those Oilers uniform. Yeah, you would think this is a must win, and the Texans are coming in a little bit banged up. Stevie Boe says tightened up. Fuentes says, "Who do you think we hire if Vrabel is gone?" Again, you know, we would definitely have a chance to have our pick of the litter. I think with a Will Levis, if you bring back a Derrick Henry, you got DeAndre Hopkins with a young an up and coming quarterback, it will be an attractive job because there's going to be an offensive coordinator like a Bobby Slowick or a Ben Johnson that's going to think, man, I liked Will Levis coming out of college, and I don't like the way Mike Vrabel and them did him or was trying to make him. I think I can really untap that potential and turn him into a great quarterback, a top 10, top 5 quarterback. There's going to be a coach out there that's going to think he can, you know, even make Will Levis better. So Stevie said, sounds too risky now. A few of those will be bad investments. We won't know. And I know there's a lot of you out there, y'all are scared of the unknown. As an old adage I hear in wrestling, I know a lot of y'all would rather go with the devil you know than the devil you don't. I know. I know some of y'all are scared, and you would rather be like, I'd rather stick with the status quo than try something different. Humans are always afraid of what's different. And I get that. And I get that. But sometimes you got to take a risk. And Rand Carthon knows, I'm pretty sure Rand Carthon will understand, if Vrabel did get traded and he hires a coach and they fail Will Levis, the coach and Rand will be fired. Pretty much. Faye says Vrabel is changing. I told you. I'm not 100% sold on that one. I mean, maybe, but, Clay says Amy turns down first round pick for Vrabel. Is that possible? If Amy Adams-Strunk turns down either this first round pick, which I don't think the Patriots would do, but if you turn down a 2025 first round pick, and let's say they throw in their second rounder this year and maybe a second rounder next year and a number 1 next year, maybe even a pick swap possibly, Miss Amy would be outside of her mind to not take that. You could get an extra second this year, and you possibly could get a 1 and maybe a 2 next year. I'm taking that deal 10 times out of 10. So I would definitely do that. Stevie says he coached a different way Monday. I disagree. I don't think he coached that much differently. I mean, up until that fourth quarter, it was pretty much a regular Titans game. The offense wasn't really moving. The defense kept them in it. And, there was a couple plays here and there. But it wasn't really until the fourth quarter when we got behind that all of a sudden, bang, everything started to click. So I'm not going to sit and act like, oh, Vrabel coached so differently. It was great. No, he didn't. And I'm not going to give that much credit to Vrabel. I mean, I think Tim Kelly maybe found something, but I'm going to give more credit to the players, to Will Levis executing, coming back from those turnovers, D-Hop being huge. So I'm not really going to give that much credit to Vrabel. I'm just going to say that. All right. Let's quickly go into who we believe is the two-tone blue star of the week. We'll keep our tabs about Mike Vrabel and things like that going forward. We'll definitely see after Sunday's game what's going on, because if the Titans lose that game to an undermanned Houston Texan team, the whole momentum that you built from the Miami victory is gone. Banking on that. But who is your two-tone blue star of the week? Who was the star of the game for who was the best player? Could have been Will Levis. Was it D-Hop? Was it Danico Autry? Harold Landry? So who do y'all think is the two-tone blue star of the week? Let's see. Ian says Only reason Finn scored were turnovers by us. Great job defense. I do agree. Ian goes with Harold Landry. Let's see, my frat brother D Smith in here. Blue Five, my brother, says, do you think if Vrabel left, Rand would get the opportunity to hire the next head coach? Now, that is a very interesting question because I listen to Stillman and Company. I mean, I think some of y'all know I listen to him quite often, even though he can sometimes be a little crazy and a little bit, crazy with his theories. But he said he thinks, hey, if I get the chance, I would just clean house, get rid of all the coaches, and get rid of the general manager. And so I think if Vrabel was gone, Miss Amy, I mean, this is what you hired Rand to be, the general manager. Let him do his job. So I think she would give him the opportunity to hire the next coach. Because I mean, if you're not going to let him, if you're not going to let him be the guy to lead the search, then why in the world did you hire him in the first place? You could have just said Vrabel is coach and general manager if that's the case. So I do think she'll at least give him the opportunity. And I think there might be a couple of guys out there that he's familiar with. I think there's a guy or two that he's familiar with that I think would be good choices. I think Bobby Slowick is definitely one. Um, Bobby Slowick is definitely one. Um, the other, I'm trying to see if is the same guy that I think is there, and I believe it is. Chris Forrester is another. Uh, he's the run game coordinator in San Francisco, and he's the offensive line coach. And he's also the offensive line coach. Um, Obviously, Kyle Shanahan would be over the passing game and things like that. So, um, you know, and then maybe, there could be some other guys. Clint Kubiak is their offensive pass game specialist. So, I mean, that could be another guy. Of course, you got a couple of Kubiaks on that team, but you want a coach that at least could run that Shanahan West Coast style type of offense. And I think that will be something there. Fade goes with Danico Autry. Defense played great by Clay. AZ Mix going with Levis. What's up, big dog? He's thinking Landry, which we did talk about that. Landry, AFC Defensive Player of the Week. So I definitely like that, and I think that would be a pretty good choice to go with. I would go with Harold Landry as the two-tone blue star of the week, even though D Hop would be a good choice as well, who had 7 catches, 124 yards, and had the game tying touchdown. So I mean, I definitely would go for that. So Brandon said Levis got some nuts, straight dog. Landon said, What's up with y'all? But definitely the two-tone blue star of the week. I'm gonna go with Harold Landry. But where there's a star of the week, there is a dunce of the day. So who did not do as well in this game? I know a lot of it had to do with Tyreek being out most of the game. And I really do think the Dolphins as a whole deserve a nomination because I really do think they played the Tennessee Titans lightly. I think they thought, well, oh, it's just the Tennessee Titans, we're a 14 and a half point, we're a 14-point favorite. We could beat them whenever we want. We could play sloppy and still win. But you also got to understand, this is the NFL. You cannot underestimate anybody in this situation. But I think there's an obvious way we could go. Of course, Landon said either way, Landry or D Hop. That's why we're called Tennessee tough for a reason. Brandon said O line was decent. I mean, not terrible. And another old saying: if an offensive lineman's name isn't called, that's a good thing. Like Dylan Radens could be a dunce of the day nominee because he had those pre-snap penalties and you noticed it. Jalen Duncan, you really did notice. You know, Calvin Throckmorton, I think besides one little penalty, he played a lot and could be playing more. You really didn't notice him. Jalen Duncan, you really didn't notice him too much. And that's a good thing. But I think a lot of people might be going with the obvious choice for dunce of the day. AZ Big says Guerra. Brandon go B-Pain going with the punt returner. Big Dog going with the punt returner. Guerra. Oh, we really need Kearis Jackson back. And Kearis Jackson's been gone pretty much the whole season. D. Smith says Guerra made one less mistake than Levis, a pick six to a lineman and a bad pitch will cost fumble. That is true. Now, that is, I cannot disagree with that. I mean, throwing that pick, even though I'm going to give Levis a lot of props for coming back from 14 down and, you know, executing those drives, but that's why when a lot of people was talking about, you know, on A to Z giving grades, a lot of people were giving A's and things like that. I said maybe a B plus B ish. Because I mean, I got to take into account that pick six and the pitch fumble. You got to take that into account. If we had lost that game, I would have been like C minus. I would have been like C minus. But Guerra, definitely, it's Landon says definitely not college football. It's definitely not college football. There are no cupcakes in this league. Landon go with Guerra. Herman says, am I still naively optimistic? I picked the Titans to beat Miami. Any Titan fans, I think a lot of Titan fans, there were some Titan fans out there that were like me, like, yeah, we were going to lose that game. And I think a lot of us thought that. And there were a few, like yourself, Herman, that were just crazy, naively optimistic. And there are some out there now that's like that because I said that on last night's post game. When the Titans won that game and I didn't expect them to win, by the way, the dunce of the day is Eric Guerra. I like that pick because, I mean, you're telling everybody else to back away. You should have backed away too. So, Eric Guerra, dunce of the day. Absolutely. But to answer Herm's thought, there, you know, the Titans winning that game, I thought was a bad result. Why? Because he said, you know, he's asking, am I being naively optimistic? There's a lot of Titan fans out there that are being very naively optimistic out there, thinking, well, all right, we can make a run to the playoffs. We can make a push, make the playoffs. You only have about a 15% chance to make the playoffs. Even if you win out, you still need a whole lot of help. It is probably too little too late. I mean, well, it ain't probably too little too late. It is definitely too little too late on that. So, you know, I applaud those who are optimistic and still have a positive outlook, but the season's over. You lost your chance maybe a few weeks ago in London. You lost your chance against Indianapolis last week before this game. So, yeah, maybe a little naively optimistic, but I understand. He said we need to draft a punt returner. I mean, unless Kearis Jackson comes back, I would say so. I don't know why some Titan fans attack Levis after one mistake. I mean, yeah, he made a mistake, and like Landon said, he made up for it. Landon said we were just hoping Miami wouldn't hang 50 on us. I mean, I honestly thought that was gonna happen. I mean, Guerra, it did stand out, and he almost fumbled a second one on the drive that led to the game winner. And so he had his gas. I mean, he's had He's done more good than bad, even though he fumbled that punt at the worst possible time, and he also did that against Jacksonville, and everything. So, Landon says, I don't see us making the playoffs, but could get hot, win a few games. And I mean, I get it. For Levis and some of the others, it's good to win a few games and all. I get that. But as others have said, like Caroline and Jared and others have said, it's not about winning and losing anymore. It's not about winning and losing anymore. It's about developing your players. Whether you win or lose, it doesn't matter. And Derek said, I just don't want people to downplay the importance of a top 5 pick. And that's another thing. This was why I thought the loss to Miami, the victory to Miami, was one of the worst things that could happen. Why? Because it filled a lot of Titan fans up with false hope. Now there's Titan fans out there believing, yeah, we can make a run. After draft, I don't care about having a top 5 pick. And those same fans are going to be the same ones in late January talking about, man, I wish we had a top 5 pick. Man, we're not going to be able to get one of those top linemen or get Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harrison Jr. And I'm going to be like, I told y'all this Miami game was going to hurt more than you think. And I'm like, but people don't want to listen to me. And a lot of people have downplayed that. And they shouldn't. Because that loss might have killed our chances at a top 5 pick. Now, we can still get in the top 5. It's just going to be a lot more difficult now. Stevie says, what position would you draft first? Offensive line. Unless it's Marvin Harrison Jr., I go offensive line. Now, if Alt and Deshaunu are gone and Malik Neighbors is there, I might consider taking him. I believe Chance Campbell is on the roster. I'm not sure exactly what happened with him, but there's still a chance until it's not. Big John says we should go after Bowers. Bowers could be a good pick too. Although I'm not really a fan of taking a tight end that high, but Bowers could be a different case. Frazier says, if we win, no top 5 pick. I agree. You win this game against Houston, you might as well kiss top 5, maybe even top 10 goodbye forever. The only thing is, in recent past, what has this team done with a top pick? Now, that is true. That is definitely true. I mean, hey, sometimes those picks at the very top don't work out, and the picks in the later rounds do work out. So, I mean, there is definitely that. But let's do a little quick stock up, stock down, and then we're going to quickly get into this game. And so we're going to start with stock up. And I definitely liked Tajay Spears. Even though Tajay Spears needs to get in the end zone, but Tajay Spears is definitely getting better and better and better. So I definitely do like that. Danico Autry had a heck of a game. I mean, he was a menace on Tua, and he blocked the field goal. Blocked a field goal attempt, which was major. I believe it might have even been an extra point. So that was pretty big. Harold Landry, obviously, Will Levis, his stock, I think, is going up, especially coming back because the Titans are the first team since 2016. Previously, teams that were down by 14 with 3 minutes or less to go in the game were 0-767. The Titans became that one to do it. and that was behind Will Levis. And I think the rest of the country is starting to think the Titans might have something. Now, I'm not 100% saying Levis is 100% the guy, but I think he is definitely marching his way towards that. I definitely will say that. And I mean, D Hop is not on the list because his stock is already up there. Um, so I definitely do like that. Brandon says stock up D line. I mean, I mentioned Landry, I mentioned Autry, so I definitely do like that. Then there's stock down. Eric Guerra is one. Eric Guerra, I mean, fumbling the ball like that, yeah, that's going to get you on the stock down list. Traylon Burks, stock down, which I don't think is necessary. I mean, the injury part, I mean, kind of, but you can't really help that. It's a shame, but I think it's also because the coaches are not getting him involved and everything, and they really need to. They need to get him involved, and so yeah, that's why I think stock down with Traylon Burks, but they need to get him involved. Christian Fulton, who hasn't played well and still is getting hurt, and of course he's out for the season. The aforementioned Dylan Radins, I mentioned the penalties, the pre-snap penalties. He had like a couple of false starts. He had a couple of false starts in that game. So, I mean, definitely stock down. And then the draft pick, I think is a stock down because right now, if you had lost that game, you are fourth right now. And even if you beat Houston, it will not hurt you very much. Now, if you beat Houston, you're probably out of the top 10. If you lose, you might be able to climb back up towards that. The only problem is the teams that are up in front of you are probably going to lose games as well. So, I mean, Big Dog said Levis should win Offensive Rookie of the Year after all that, after all the competition you've been giving the team. Only problem is C.J. Stroud's going to win it. C.J. Stroud's probably going to win it, unless he's out for an extended period of time, which he could be out for this game. Stevie said, I think they are setting Burks up for this game. Well, we're going to find out because I've lost faith. Big Dog says Burks is a bust. I mean, very well might be on that. But let's get into the Houston Texans and everything because this is a very important game. The Texans coming off, they're 7-6, coming off of a 30-6 drubbing at the hands of the New York Jets up in New York. So they're going to come in here. They're going to be motivated. They're going to be upset. They're going to come in motivated, especially with the Titans wearing the Oiler colors against them. So they're definitely going to be motivated. They're definitely going to be upset. And the Tennessee Titans hopefully are not drinking too much of their Kool-Aid after the Miami game because this is a prime position for the trap game. This is a prime position for the letdown because you're riding so high off of that game against Miami, and then you come into this game and you find a way to lose, which the Texans are in the middle of the road offensively. They're in points. They're ninth in total offense in yards, fourth in passing. That's with C.J. Stroud, and 25th in running the ball. But defensively, they're in the middle as well. 16th in scoring defense, 20th total, 8th best against the run, but they're not very good against the pass, even though they got a couple of nice corners in Steven Nelson and Derek Stingley. And then, of course, you see C.J. Stroud close to 4,000 yards passing, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, over 62% completion percentage. And so this Texan team is finding their stride. No matter what, this has been an extremely successful season for the Houston Texans. So I definitely could see that and everything. So Stroud is still in concussion protocol. Yes. He has not yet practiced. So I think his status is definitely up in the air. Uh, K-Boy King comes in and says, Texas fans salty. Yeah, I bet they are. I bet they are. Brandon says this game could end in a tie. I doubt it, but I mean, there have been ties. It does happen. And so this leads us into the blue enforcer 4 points to victory. And again, if we take a look at the injury report, a lot of guys did not practice. Um, Guys that didn't practice. Kyle Phillips did not practice. Hamstring. Kevin Rader is ill. Tierra Tart has something personal to deal with. Of course, Big Jeff didn't practice. He's still out. And then Josh Wiley is still out. Danico Autry, Aaron Brewer, Brunskill, they're all limited. Of course, D Hop, Derrick Henry, this is their rest day. And then Anthony Kendall, backup corner, all limited. Of course, Will Levis, Sean Murphy Bunting, Kayvon Wallace, all full participation. And they got upgraded. They got upgraded. Um, and let's see, Anthony Kendall practiced fully yesterday, limited today. And so that's what's going on in with the Titans. In Houston, no Will Anderson. Blake Cashman, the linebacker, already ruled out for this game. George Fant, Nico Collins, CJ Stroud did not practice today. Noah Brown is the wide receiver. He is limited. And then, of course, Robert Woods, Laramie Tunsil, Dalton Schultz all practiced fully. So Schultz could be back for the Houston Texans, and that, could definitely help their offense, even with Davis Mills at quarterback. So number one on my Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. You got to try to find a way to build momentum off of this upset. You got to build momentum. You pulled off the shocker. You got to build off of that. Continue use that as a launching pad. You got to use that as a launching pad. So definitely start with that. Number two, you got to get Levis going early. Get him in a rhythm. Get him with D-Hop. Get Burks going early. Get the pass game going, and you can use that to set up the run against his defense, especially in the middle of the field. That's where I think a lot of damage could be done. Number three, do not underestimate this team. The Miami Dolphins underestimated the Tennessee Titans, which is why they lost. So, there's a good chance you're seeing Davis Mills. Nico Collins, who is a 1,000-yard receiver, might be out for this game. Noah Brown, their other receiver, might be out. Now, Robert Woods could be in there, even though he ain't that good. Another guy by the name of Xavier Hutchinson, because sometimes we always let some no-name receiver look good. And, we've seen it with Gardner Minshew in Indianapolis. Davis Mills has had success against us before, so it's not impossible that he can have success again. So the Dolphins underestimated us. We cannot return the favor. And number four, you got to be aggressive, but also be smart. Make good decisions. Make good decisions. Go after them. Attack. Again, you got nothing to lose. The Texans are fighting for their playoff lives. So you got to be aggressive. Take some chances. You're at home. Special day. Billy White Shoes Johnson is going in the Ring of Honor. Is going into the Ring of Honor Sunday. So definitely do him proud. So I'm going to get some of y'all comments. Stevie says, without all the dumb penalties and turnovers, I agree. Derek says, I'm starting to appreciate Corey Davis more as I watch Burks. Brandon says, balanced play calling. Get in your playbook. Don't be predictable. I agree. I definitely agree with that. And so, moment of truth, which way am I going? Why do I get the feeling I think the Tennessee Titans are going to win this game? I have this feeling because it's Throwback Sunday at home. There's going to be a little bit of extra energy coming off of that victory over Miami. And, the throwbacks are popular and everything. So this could be a Titans win. Kim Moore says this needs to be Derrick Henry throwback game. He has 4 games of 200-plus yards against Houston. That is true. Derrick Henry always tends to run well when it comes to the Houston Texans. Now, it may not be as easy this time, but it could be that type of game. Landon says it's going to be ugly. It very well, when is a Titans game not ugly? Very rarely is it not ugly. But I do think the Tennessee Titans say goodbye to that top 10 pick, but they find a way to win 27-20. I think that's what's going to happen. And everything. So I think that's going to be the end result. I think the Titans are going to win. And so I think that's going to just about wrap up the show. Blue bombshell news outside of football. Ken, I'm going to give congratulations to your Houston Rockets. That dreaded Dylan the villain and his crew found a way to get a win over my Grizzlies. So they get a win, we lose again. But if I'm the Rockets and I'm like the Pelicans and all them, Ja is coming. Ja's going to be back in a week. So Ja going to be back on the court by this time next week. So y'all better get ready for it. And also, that June bug, that dreaded Draymond Green, can't stand his tail, is suspended indefinitely. I hope he's out for the whole season. I really do. I hope he's out for the whole season. Because he's a dirty player. He is a flat-out dirty player. And anybody who disputes that, you need to get your brain looked at. Clay says Titans will win out. And again, there goes that naive optimism. That's, again, there's that false hope. Titans win out. I don't think that's going to happen. But that's that false hope that I was afraid of. But it is what it is. But everybody, I think we're going to call that a day. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to TNT Tonight, Sunday. I will be back at the House of Samurai with the Titans Fan Club of Memphis, Titans, Texans, Throwback Sunday. Definitely going to be ready. Clay says Seahawks will be tough, and I do agree with that. So, again, make sure y'all go ahead, hit a like button on your way out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe and download on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and Google Podcasts as well. And make sure y'all follow all the channels and things like that too. So I thank y'all for tuning in to TNT Tonight. I'm your man, Blue Enforcer, a.k.a. The Truth. And I hope everybody has a very good rest of your Thursday. Raiders, Chargers coming up. Y'all go enjoy yourselves and tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.